Hey everyone, this episode is brought to you by Reverse Loot Crate. You sick of all that stuff you bought? Well, we got a solution for you. Every month, our loot engineers, Jason and Todd, are going to stop by your house with an empty box, and they got a different theme of stuff they're going for, and they're just going to start taking stuff from you. Last month, it was kitchen gadgets. Jason and Todd walked away with many a blender, many a food processor, and many a spatula. This month, for Christmas, it is holiday knickknacks. So now's the time to either get out all the knickknacks Grandma gave you years ago and you would feel too guilty about throwing away, or just let them knock and see what they get. That's Reverse Loot Crate. If you want a little special deal from the Critical Breakdown, enter the promo code Chappie at checkout and you will receive 10% off your next Reverse Loot Crate. Reverse Loot Crate is another Donafart Industries innovation. Back to you in the booth. Hello and welcome to the Critical Breakdown, the podcast where we start at the bottom of Rotten Tomatoes and work our way to 100% fresh. I'm Scott.
I am Chappie.
And I'm Max. And today we're talking about Chappie, rated 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
You may know him as Consciousness or as Alive.
What?
Well, that's what he said in the trailer. He said, I'm Consciousness, I'm Alive, I'm Chappie. So you might know him as any of those three.
You might know him as Number Johnny 5 from Short Circuit.
I didn't say it.
It's out there, though, in the ether. You can find it.
And here it is.
And here it is.
Top of the morning. It's an early morning podcast recording.
Yeah, but we got up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
No exact reason. We just felt like starting early.
Yeah, but it feels good. Feels right.
Audience, feel free to call in.
Here's my coffee if no one believes me.
Can't make that up. You can't insert that. That's real.
Can't insert that. That's real.
So, no soundboards here.
No soundboards. Someday.
What you been up to, Scott?
Not much, man. You know what I did watch, though?
What?
Watch Hell or High Water.
Ooh.
The hit 2016 Summer Smash hit.
That's
I said hit.
Chris Pine and Ben...
It's Australian for beer.
Foster.
Ben Foster, yeah.
Ben Foster.
And Jeff Bridges. Don't forget Jeff Bridges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he is in that.
Yeah. Directed by David Mackenzie.
What else did he do?
I don't know. I don't think anything. I think this is his first big one.
It got pretty good reviews,
Yeah,
right?
it got really good reviews. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's good.
I didn't love it.
Didn't love it?
I thought it was okay. It's well made. Very well put together.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong on that. But the story didn't take me anywhere.
What was the story? They were criminals?
They are robbing banks to pay bills, essentially. They're robbing banks, and they go in, and then whoever's at the bank, they're like, it's not your money. Like, don't be here. It's not your money. And stuff, because their mother had passed away from cancer, and Ben Foster's character just got out of prison, and so Chris Pine, they had to like do a double reverse mortgage on their house and all this stuff. So there was a lot of stuff about that, and then Jeff Bridges plays one of the cops investigating them because they're always hitting like these same banks from this one chain and stuff like that. It was pretty standard. Honestly, it felt a lot like No Country for Old Men. But it felt so much like No Country for Old Men, but was so much worse that I just wanted to watch No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad movie by any means. It just didn't do anything for me.
The visuals of it definitely calls back to No Country.
For sure.
I could tell that from the trailer.
And they're both in Texas, so that explains that. But it just, maybe it's because it was so hyped.
Yeah.
And I've been meaning to watch it for a long time, then I finally did. But the problem was all the characters in No Country for Old Men were complex. Like Josh Brolin's character, the main character, what was it? I can't even remember his name, but
I don't remember the name.
It was something
yeah, they were
funny,
all like multi-layered.
Yeah, they were all very multi-layered. You're a protagonist, but he's also kind of stealing money that he found and from criminals and all this. There's all these different angles to everything, but there wasn't really any of that here. They tried to make the criminals relatable, but I didn't care about either character Chris Pine did a really good job. Ben Foster did a good job too, but I just didn't care about either of their characters. So I don't know. I wish I liked it a little better than I did, but it just wasn't for me.
That's kind of the theme of today's episode.
Yeah. What?
Well, at least with the movie Chappie.
Yeah.
So.
Did you watch anything that you wish you liked a little more?
I guess so. The other day on TV, we watched the live musical of Hairspray.
Oh yeah, with Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah, and Ariana Grande and a couple other people.
I didn't realize she was in it.
Yeah, it was good. I like the movie a lot more.
The one with your boy John Travolta?
No, I do like that one, but I prefer the older one.
Okay.
I used to watch that one growing up. I go back and forth with musicals.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that one. It was just very funny. I'll say, as far as the mother character, who is played usually by a man in drag, the first one was Divine. That's the person, the drag queen playing the mom. Did a great job. This time around, I can't think of his name, but he's the makeup artist brother from Mrs. Doubtfire. And he's also like Jeff Goldblum's boss in Independence Day. He has a very raspy voice. He did a good job, but he creeped me out the whole time.
Is that kind of his job, or?
Yeah, I guess so. Because John Travolta creeped me out too. So
he had been practicing for that since Battlefield Earth.
Yeah,
and long before.
Twirl, all those twirl lessons.
It was fun. Were there commercials and stuff in it?
Yeah, they would do commercial breaks. What was cool, and I kind of did like this. Some of the commercials were literally just in a studio shot like an old school commercial would be, like on a sound stage, like a guy in a suit saying, "Buy this car." Yeah. So that was kind of neat. They did a couple cool things. It was fun.
1 hour event?
I think it was a full movie length on TV, so like 1 to 2 hours.
They do this occasionally, because didn't they do Grease?
It's been getting bigger. They did Grease. Yeah. Grease got pretty good reviews. They did Rocky Horror, which from what I heard,
that's right,
was underwhelming. This wasn't that underwhelming. It was fun.
Yeah.
I will say I was very impressed with Ariana Grande. I thought she was very funny.
What would I know her from if I don't listen to the radio?
If you ever watched that show Victorious, I think she was on that.
I don't even know what network it was on.
She's been on SNL.
Okay. I know the name.
She dates Mac Miller, I believe.
Oh, that's...
Everybody
good
has
for
something.
Him.
So, no, but she just seems funny. She has a really good voice.
Cool.
So
yeah, that's good.
That was enjoyable. That's like all I've really watched besides a bunch of trailers.
Does it make you excited for La La Land?
No, but I go back and forth with La La Land. We've talked about it before. Yeah. I think visually it looks amazing.
Yeah, that's what.
But at the same time, I know they're going for like an old look. Some of the visuals I like, but the intentional cheesiness bothers me at the same time. I don't want to say cheesiness. Yeah. The intentional, like, staged look of them. Yeah. It looks very pretty, but then I'm like, this might take me out of the story. So I'm still on the fence with them. I finally made it through a trailer of it.
Yeah, you did. I was very proud of you. What were we watching that there was a trailer
It was Manchester by the Sea.
That's right.
In front of it. Right. And I finally paid attention to it and kind of got more of it. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the type of movie I love, but I'll be interested in watching it.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing it.
I have an open mind.
It's getting such rave reviews, too.
Yeah,
you know?
So we'll see.
Yeah. You had mentioned trailers, though.
Yeah, I have.
You stayed awake through the La La Land trailer.
I did.
Were rewarded with a Spider-Man trailer.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
About that Spider-Man trailer.
Everyone, as a whole, seems to enjoy it.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it looked pretty good. I was trying to express to you, and I have a hard time expressing my thoughts on stuff through text. Yeah. But I'm excited, but I'm like just kind of barely excited because
it's a Marvel movie, so I'm barely excited, or is it like
I've made my peace with Marvel. After Civil War, it was good. Yeah. Tony's better than he was for the last like 6 years, so that's a start. And they're trying some new stuff. We'll see where they go with it. Yeah. I'll give them 2017, they can win me back. But we made up in 2016, so it's not just the Marvel beef.
You didn't even see Doctor Strange either, which a lot of people said was good. Yeah.
It's on my list.
I saw it, so
it's on my list. Oh, okay. But no, Spider-Man. My number one comment, which is a stupid comment, but it's also funny, is it looks like a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. For some people, that's what they needed, though.
No, exactly. Yeah. So I get, because I said that to one person, they were like, yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. And then I said it to someone else, and they were like, what did you expect? Yeah. And so it's like, I feel if you're just kind of like, oh, yeah, this looks like the other 5 movies I've seen. If you say that and you're excited, you're probably super stoked. If you say that and you're like, whatever. Or if you don't even think that, you don't even care. Like, I respect it either way. But it looks pretty interesting. I like the web armpits.
Yeah.
The costume looks awesome.
The web suit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what it's called.
The only thing that kind of threw me for a loop is some of the bad guy tech looked a little cartoony.
The Vulture.
Yeah, tech. And then also those electric guns they were using, they looked just a little bit on the edge of cartoony, which the rest of the Marvel universe I think has very much like they've towed the line without going fully there. So I'm interested to see if they're doing that on purpose, maybe because it's a younger character.
We'll see, because the Marvel universe has even dipped more into the alien stuff with Thor and Guardians of the Galaxy, obviously, and Infinity War is going to do that, obviously. So they might bring more alien kind of thing. Like Doctor Strange had some. It didn't have actual alien things, but it had things that were very foreign to the rest of the Marvel universe. So I could see them doing that as a way to ease you into it, almost.
For sure.
I liked it though. I love coming of age movies, and this looks like a coming of age movie to me.
I definitely think that looks like the strongest part of it.
Yeah.
More so than the action itself, like the story of Peter adjusting. Because, I mean, that's your best Spider-Man stories are this kid who's struggling with school or love and life, and then also having to be a superhero that he's not very good at being, and, like, balancing that. Yeah. So that's definitely your strongest story. It looks like they're nailing that in the story. So.
And I've always been Team Stark, because I think he's one of the most complex characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so I didn't mind seeing him here. I was surprised to see so much of him in the trailer.
But
I can see why you would put him in there.
For sure in the trailer, it follows up with the continuity of the movie. But also, you got to think, if he's in costume, it's just VO, just voiceover. So his car scenes might be like, it might be a 5-minute sequence with him. And as far as actual RDJ, that's it. And then it's like 5 minutes of voiceover and then he's done.
It'd be cool if there was like one big fight with both of them there. And there was one scene at the end of the trailer where they were flying together. So that is cool.
It'll be cool. I was telling a friend I would have liked, ideally, and this is, I already knew they weren't doing this kind of stuff, but I would like to see a Spider-Man movie that dips into some of the weirder stuff they have, or like the second Spider-Man character, Miles Morales, or the clones. There's tons of clones, and that's like a heated conversation with some Spider-Man fans. Yeah. But take it, make it good. You know, like redeem that storyline, make it better for the movie, do something new. Yeah. But you also want to ease people into this Spider-Man, so I get that.
Yeah, and I don't have any problem with Tom Holland personally, because I think he's definitely the youngest person. He's younger than Andrew Garfield, right? Sure. Yeah, and Tobey Maguire was like 45 when he filmed Spider-Man.
Well, I think he gets a bad rap because when it ended, he was like older. Yeah. But when it started, I think him and Andrew Garfield were both about the same age. Yeah.
But now you see Tobey Maguire, he's like, he's old. And he's not even that old.
I had a cousin who, when she saw Tobey Maguire's like Spider-Man movie, I think she was younger and her kids were like newly born. She's older than me. Yeah. But she was just like, he looks like how someone who's a teenager or something should look. And then as she got older and she saw the new one, she was like, Andrew Garfield does not look like a teenager, because her kids were teenagers then. And she was like complaining about it. And I was like, that's really strange. So we had this whole debate about it.
Like, I don't get it.
And I was like, no, go back and look at pictures of him. Let's compare this. I mean,
but that was her frame of reference, right?
Yeah. And then she was like, oh, wow, yeah, they're both old.
No. We didn't get any J. Jonah Jameson.
No. Who's playing J. Jonah?
I don't think they've announced it. I could be wrong, but I don't think they've officially announced who J. Jonah is.
It's a shame that they just can't bring the original Jonah back. Yeah.
This brings another thing in, though, because I've always wondered how Marvel and DC interact, you know? If you've played one in these cinematic universes, can you go back to the other? And since he's Commissioner Gordon now, he probably can't come back, I imagine. But we have seen weird stuff like with Chris Evans being Johnny Storm and Cap, but that was before the cinematic universe started, you know?
I think with Marvel, if you come into the MCU, they'll like forgive
your past transgressions.
But I don't know if you're bouncing between.
Michael B. Jordan, come on back. We forgive you for Fantastic Four. Be in Black Panther.
Basically.
And he's going to, and it's going to be great. So, rumor is he's playing a villain too, which is
that'll
awesome.
Be interesting.
Yeah, because he's so charismatic and he's such a good guy.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to Spider-Man.
It's good. Yeah. We watched the Mummy trailer.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think we had mixed opinions on it. In fairness to me, I love the new Mission Impossible movies, and Tom Cruise is one of my favorite actors.
I think I sent you a text that said, "Did you watch the Mummy Impossible?"
That's trailer? Exactly what you said, and it legitimately looked just like a Mission Impossible movie.
It does. I need a better trailer.
Yeah. And I mean, that's kind of your teaser.
The Brendan Fraser Mummy movie is near and dear to my heart.
The Brendan Fraser Mummy movie is fantastic. Yeah. I'm not arguing that.
Yeah, I'm not saying you don't feel the same way. Yeah. But I was hoping it would be closer to that kind of mummy movie, or even somebody else. I think Miles pointed out it should be. They could do a horror mummy, like a creepy.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
Like stalkery, creepy thing.
The direction they're going is with this whole, I'm using air quotes, monsters cinematic universe. Yeah. Which, what does that entail? Is that like our League of Extraordinary Gentlemen characters? Because
I think it might be,
Russell Crowe is in here as Jekyll and Hyde.
I've heard
which
thinking
maybe we'll get our Kevin Durand Hyde, you know? That's what I've wanted since LXG.
Nipples just got hard.
Confirmed.
No, they could do Like, I've heard they want to do, like, vampire, like, Dracula, Wolfman stuff.
I was reading because there is a Dracula movie coming
Yeah.
out, right? But it's explicitly excluded from that universe for whatever reason.
What about Wolfman? I heard they're going to do that again.
I think that's I think it's still pretty early.
Aren't they doing...
Wait, this is so unrelated, but isn't Max Landis writing or directing an American Werewolf in London remake?
Yeah.
I'm not too happy about that.
I don't know how I feel about Max
That's
Landis.
so unrelated.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have done this.
You side
This is a recorded medium, and I just took us way off the train.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It happens. I watched The Planet of the Apes, The War of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it yet, though.
Yeah, no, I know. But
Talk about it without mentioning characters, plot points, or the past movie.
We're just going to set a precedent here.
Okay.
We will both of us will watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I think, no. The second, Conquest of the Planet of the Apes.
No, Dawn.
Dawn.
Rise, then Dawn.
Rise, Dawn, this one, yeah.
I'm fine. It's, 3:30 a.m. now? I'm fine watching Dawn right after this.
So we'll figure it out. We'll watch it.
And then I'll voice memo you some.
I'm just putting a bookmark here. In a future episode, we will discuss this
next
trailer
week, I promise. I promise, everyone.
Yeah. We need something here.
Yeah.
Any other trailers?
Yeah, probably.
Do you want me to look?
Yeah.
I did watch the Baywatch trailer. Did you watch that?
Oh, yeah, the Baywatch trailer.
Yeah.
I knew there was one we were missing.
What'd you think about that?
Yeah, the Baywatch trailer looked fine. It kind of looked like a 21 Jump Street version of Baywatch, which is okay because I love the 21 Jump Street movies, but I don't think you can do 21 Jump Street without Phil Lord and Christopher Miller.
Yeah.
And I don't know who the Baywatch guy is. I looked him up and he didn't have like a story track record, but there's enough talent there. I like Zac Efron. Yeah. Chris, why am I even saying Chris? Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He's in everything now, and some of it is good.
Yeah.
Alexander Daddario is beautiful.
It's true.
I don't know what they're going to do with the plot. I hope it doesn't take itself too seriously. I'll wait for reviews.
It looks like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but I hope it doesn't take itself like full 21 Jump Street unless it's legitimately funny.
Yeah. Because if 21 Jump Street was any less funny, it would have been a bad movie.
Some of the jokes fell flat for me in the trailer. Yeah. Some of them were okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like stand out. But the two, Dwayne Johnson and Zac Efron, seem to have some comedic chemistry between them.
Yeah.
I did like that they began with the original Baywatch theme. I wish they kept it going because I think like that music is hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll listen to it if I'm working out sometimes. Just good tunes, you know?
Oh, yeah,
but,
sure.
No, I do think it's funny that they're playing the actual characters from the TV show.
Yeah.
Baywatch was very sacred watching for my dad growing up.
Everything I know about Papa J agrees with that image.
One time he told us we can't talk during Baywatch, and he just sat in silence while we just all sat waiting for him to get done, because I think we're trying to figure out what was for dinner.
But you had to wait till the episode was done for him to tell you.
He was like, shh. So, yeah. No, I mean, that one's pretty much what you said. I'll wait.
We'll see. Maybe there'll be another trailer that comes out that kind of sets our tone. Yeah. There's also the Transformers trailer.
Yeah.
The Last Knight.
We watched that together, and I already forgot everything in that trailer.
But, I mean, it's Transformers.
Anthony Hopkins is in it, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what role he plays. Essentially, I think Cybertron is going to come and have war with Earth. That might be very wrong, but it looks just like every other Transformers movie. I saw a cool post on Reddit where someone pointed out that there were 8 or 9 different aspect ratios in the trailer. And, they're just, randomly from the scenes, which is horrible. Yeah. And I didn't notice it until he pointed it out.
Is Michael Bay still doing them?
Yeah, he's the director.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I mean, he makes money. He makes that China money.
That China money.
China money.
Oh, yeah. But that's another wait and probably not see.
Speaking of China money, we had one more kind of big trailer since our last episode.
Yeah.
Guardians de la Galaxy Volume 2.
Volume 2. It looks really funny.
Yep.
We kind of had that one sneak peek kind of trailer thing. It wasn't an official trailer, but reveal maybe. Not that it was a big secret, but this was our first trailer that had the cohesiveness of a trailer.
Action,
and it was very funny.
Yeah.
The whole bit with Rocket Raccoon and Baby Groot was hilarious.
Yeah, that was good.
And then his line about, does anyone have any tape? And Star's like, you have a bomb in your pocket. If anyone's going to have tape, it's you.
Yeah. No, they got the witty banter. It works.
Yep.
It seems good.
Yep.
Baby Groot's already probably going to sell tons of Christmas gifts, and the movie's not even out yet.
It's the trailer was almost ho-hum because it's exactly what we expected. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
But it was nothing more than that. If they had shown Star-Lord's dad, that would have been something, but maybe they're going to save that for a later trailer, I
hope so.
Closer to release.
But then at the same time, there's the whole question of, do you reveal the big reveals in the trailer?
Yeah. But I don't think that... Well,
so that's probably not a big reveal. But
maybe it's just because we're in the know that it's not a big reveal, because we know Kurt Russell was cast. But
that's true.
Yeah, I'm excited. It looks very good.
Yeah, I agree for sure. You've discussed my Marvel issues, but Guardians of the Galaxy were always cool. So
we're bros. One person who's not my bro is Chappie.
Yeah. Chappie's kind of a little shit.
Damn. Well, what's the plot synopsis?
After a police robot is stolen and given new programming, he becomes the first machine with the ability to think and feel for himself.
After a police robot is stolen and given new programming, the robot, now called Chappie, becomes the first robot with the ability to think and feel for himself. How dare you assume gender?
And he's Chappie.
He
has consciousness.
He is alive.
He is Chappie.
The trailer was pretty good.
Yeah, it's actually a really good trailer. Yeah. After watching the movie, I stopped and thought, this is why we picked
this. And we watched it again right before recording. It was good.
Now, there was some criticism of all the advertising and the trailers because they did not emphasize at all that the main plot heavily involves the South African rap group Die Antwoord. And... yeah,
the two of the 4 or 5 leads are played by the members of Die Antwoord, Ninja and Yolandi.
Yeah.
And the characters that are playing are Ninja and Yolandi.
They wear Die Antwoord and Ninja and Yolandi gear.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. What didn't we pick?
Well, we missed out on Entourage, the movie based off the HBO series Entourage.
I sneaky really wanted to watch that one.
Did you watch Entourage?
No. I have no idea why I wanted to watch the movie, but I was hoping you'd say the Entourage movie would be pretty fun, so I could be yeah, let's do the Entourage movie.
After 2 seasons of the Entourage TV show, I was kind of just done with it. Exit Wounds, which is a DMX film.
Oh, yeah.
We watched the trailer, and I think this was another movie that went to our list of things that my dad would probably love. So
that wasn't the one by the guy who did Takers, was it?
It might be.
I can't remember now.
Grease 2.
Yeah.
Paul really wanted to do this one with us, but we decided no sequels, so...
Sorry, Paul.
We're not doing it. Sorry, Paul. Hackers.
That was our other big one.
We literally had Hackers until we thought it'd be funny for some Chappie gag, and now... Also, I hate that phrasing Chappie gag.
Could you just clip some Chappie gag? For later.
Hackers is... I've seen it. It's fun.
A pre-internet movie.
Yeah. It's where they fly through cyberspace. Yeah. Young Angelina. She would have become a contender. She would have been 2 films.
That's what it takes to become a contender. Is to be on our list multiple times.
Superstar.
Yeah, that's based on the SNL
Molly
skit, right?
Shannon? Yeah.
Will Ferrell.
It's stupid.
I haven't seen it.
I've seen it. I think I laughed when it came out, but I was probably between 13 and 16.
It's the market.
So, The X-Files, I want to believe.
I've never watched The X-Files, but I want to watch this.
Is this the first? That's the second X-Files movie.
I don't know.
Sure. I think the first one is The X-Files Fight the Future or Fight for the Future or something like that.
Cool.
I liked the first X-Files movie. I never saw the second one. I got to X-Files when I was in middle school to try and impress a girl.
How'd that go?
I don't think she was impressed, but I found that I really enjoyed the X-Files.
Hey, well, I consider that a W.
Yeah. So, good on me.
Yeah.
Wind Talkers. You were a big pusher for Wind Talkers. Honestly, don't know. I just made that up. Wind Talkers. That maybe it's World War II with
Native Americans somehow.
All right, I think so.
Sure.
Daddy's Home. I don't remember what that is.
That is Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg in a maybe rom-com or just comedy where
together, they're the romances.
No, there's I don't remember who plays the wife, but Will Ferrell is married to this woman and he's the stepdad of these children, and Mark Wahlberg is the ex. It's his kids, so they're competing for their children and lover and ex-lover's affection.
Got you.
Yeah.
And a well-beloved film of mine, which would have been my favorite movie we watched so far, Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I kind of voluntarily took it out of the running because if you hated it, I don't think we would have had a good episode because I love this movie so much that if you hate it and you just watch it on your own time and you're like, I don't care for it, I'll be like, cool, man, that's all right.
But if it was publicized, you'd
we would just have a bad time on that episode. And we have Chappie, so it's like...
Yeah, we're going to have a great time now.
Yeah, so... No, but Wet Hot American Summer, if you like the people in it, the humor's pretty good.
And it's tons of now very A-list comedians
for sure.
Actors. Chappie didn't do very well at the box.
Surprising.
Yeah. It opened in March of 2015, March 6th. It opened at $13.4 million. It won its weekend, but that's still very weak. It opened ahead of the second best exotic Marigold Hotel, which I've heard of, and I don't get...
Is that a sequel to the first best?
I honestly have no idea. But if you've already seen a movie about the first best, why would you watch one about the second best exotic Marigold Hotel?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, me neither.
None of that movie sounds appealing, and I don't know anything about it.
I don't think we're in the market.
No.
I want to say the market is older women. I don't know anything else about the movie, though, so... its total domestic run was... and this is Chappie. We're back to Chappie. Its total domestic run was $31.6 million. It's number 2,401 of all time.
What's the budgie?
Budgie is $49 million, which is lower than I thought it was going to be. But then when you think about it, there's not like many actors
Chappie
in it.
And the robots are like... Yeah, and then
and the action
actors,
scenes, but, it's still... With foreign, maybe it beat it. With foreign, I think it was around 70 or something. Yeah. But with all the marketing, I doubt it came out as a positive. There are apparently 2... sequels planned, but I don't know if they're going forward with those.
That was one of my trivias. Recently, Neill Blomkamp, the director, said there will not be a sequel because Chappie did not make enough money.
I'm not incredibly upset about that.
Here's what I think they should do for a sequel.
Oh.
Have Vicus from District 9 in alien form, have Chappie, and have Matt Damon all become like South African Avengers.
Yeah. Just call it South African Avengers.
Yeah. Boom.
Was Elysium in South Africa?
I think it was in Mexico, actually.
Okay.
But still.
I'm sure they can write it.
Yeah.
Matt Damon could play his character from Invictus.
He could play 2 characters.
Whoa.
I'm sold.
Whoa. Matt, if you're listening, give us a call. We'll get you in on the rights to this one.
Who was it? Morgan Freeman played?
Yeah, Nelson Mandela.
Nelson Mandela. He could show up and be like, Matt Damon, we need you for the South African Avengers Initiative.
And then you just have Chappie behind him.
Yeah. He's like, I'm Chappie?
Yeah. This was kind of made because of a couple short films.
Yeah, we watched some of Neill's short films.
One of them,
which are good.
Tempbot, was that what it was called?
Tempbot.
Tempbot was very funny.
Legitimately a hilarious short film.
I recommend it. You can find it on YouTube or Vimeo or something. Yeah. It's maybe 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was very funny.
If you've worked in an office, it's funny. Yeah. It's very funny.
Sure.
I think generally it'd be funny. There's a little surprise cameo from Linda Carter.
Yeah, that was very funny.
Yeah. We watched, it wasn't very high quality. I wish I found a higher quality, but the original short that kind of got him his career for District 9.
Yeah, yeah.
Very much the same elements.
Yeah, a lot of the physical characteristics of the aliens and their abilities kind of carried over into the full movie, so that's pretty cool.
And then we watched, I think it's just called
Tetraval. Yeah. Which is the name of the company in this, and it's kind of a mock advertisement for these scout bots, which is what they're known as in this.
It's more, I think, what did they call that? It's kind of like an interest trailer. Sometimes they call it like an interest, like sizzle demo.
A sizzle reel.
Yeah. I think that one was just to kind of prod around for interest in this.
Well, he got there eventually, so.
Woo! Yeah. It's, the designs here for the scout class robot in Chappie were directly taken from his short films. So they have the same bunny ear looking apparatuses. Yeah. And I think they work well. The design, you had one point, which in the film,
I had problems with the design.
They use them as armor. Like, not armor, cops use them as shields almost while they're going in.
Yeah, like...
And they're just skinny little robot men.
Yeah, they're incredibly... Like, there's no way that robot would give me cover.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm an above average sized male.
So...
And I don't know why you would design a robot army as a Swiss Army knife, but not make it in the most effective shapes and sizes, you know?
Just plate it with armor.
Like a human shape, maybe it can climb ladders pretty well, you know, it can get through a cylinder. So you can't have a big blocky thing, but something, you know?
The only theory I got is a big part of both military and police interactions with the public is fitting in.
Yeah, that's what I thought about too.
And that's the only thing I could think. Because if you compare it to Hugh Jackman's Drone, the moose, it just looks like it's a mech warrior about to kill you.
Yeah.
These look like
I thought about that
they
afterwards.
could stand around corners and just like blend in to a degree.
I feel like you could have a like peacekeeping type, that's there to pacify and is there to like riot control, that kind of stuff. And then for the heavy duty things, you could bring in someone with an extendable shield or something for them.
There's plenty of stuff you could do.
Yeah.
See, the thing
like even Tony Stark with his Iron Man suits, he starts riffing on him. The Hulkbuster, that's not a human shape, that's a big boy.
No, but this film, there's a lot of creativity here.
There's
a lot of good ideas that are wasted.
Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like this was a bad idea or anything, because the idea is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
The idea of giving consciousness to a robot and the after effects of that is interesting. I love interesting original sci-fi movies.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't like this one, I like what Neill Blomkamp does.
I like his style.
Yeah.
I really like that he ties everything back to either South Africa or just inequality.
Yeah, and that's very cool that he brings it back to South Africa.
Conscious. I really feel, and before we even get into the plot, my ideal for this film, if I could rewrite it myself, I'm just going to start with it.
Yeah.
Is have the robot getting consciousness, have Die Antwoord for just a little bit of the film. If you really want them in there, that's fine.
Yeah. I mean, if you're giving me the red pen,
exactly,
I'm taking him out.
But have him go through because the movie basically is him going through a childhood.
It's almost a coming of age story. Yeah.
Have him do that, but then address this whole question of how police interact with people.
Yeah.
Use him getting consciousness to be like, let's examine this. Let's see, legitimately bad criminals. Let's see people stuck in a bad pattern. Let's address them. Let's marry them. Let's come up with a conclusion. Kind of like how District 9 really dealt with apartheid, segregation, racism.
For sure.
All of it.
Oppressive parties, that kind of stuff.
So there could have been a lot more done with this.
Yeah, you could have done a commentary on kind of the police state, that kind of thing.
But
that's a much braver movie. Yeah. This is a very standard movie.
The bravest thing about this film is that it's basically starring Ninja, aka Watkin Tudor Jones. So
I hadn't heard his real name until now.
One of his nicknames is Waddy, by the way.
They did say that during the
Hugh Jackman stars in this. He has his original Australian accent.
Yeah, which I didn't mind.
No, he was good. He was an interesting villain, but at the same time, he had terrible plans.
Yeah,
but he was an interesting villain concept-wise.
Yeah, and his head was kind of in the right place.
Especially with that mullet he had. Definitely in the right place.
His hair was in the right place.
We also have Dev Patel, Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
Dev Patel pretty much plays his part how he should.
Yeah.
Sigourney's, she's not inconsequential, but she's there. She plays a hard-ass boss.
The only problem I have with Dev Patel's character, which is Dion, who makes the
Dion
scouts...
Wilson?
Yeah, was that his last name, Wilson?
I think so.
Yeah. First off, Dev Patel does not look like a Dion Wilson. But he designs the scouts that become this whole police force. And then he designs this consciousness chip or whatever. We're kind of getting to the beginning of the plot now. But whenever he talked to Chappie, he would constantly say stuff like, I am your maker, listen to me, and things like that.
Yeah.
I had a lot of problem with that language. It was super weird. Because Chappie is essentially a toddler. And it would be like going to your toddler, I am your maker, Chappie. Listen to me. Come over here. I am your maker. He said it probably a dozen times. Yeah. And every time it made me uncomfortable.
I saw a review for this film that said all the humans in Chappie are terrible, and that's the point. And I was like, that's true.
Yeah,
Chappie's kind of terrible too at points, but it's a tough film.
Yeah, let's get into it, I say.
Okay.
Anything that might affect our plot here? Any interesting facts?
All we really got is that the actor Brandon Orrit, I think, or Ore, who plays Hippo, who's kind of like one of the bad guys in the film. He's worked with Blomkamp on almost every film he's done.
Yeah.
He just was the one saying that Waddy, aka Ninja, was extremely hard to work with on set. And his quote was, "Everyone knows the relationship that I have with Waddy. I don't care much for him. I don't care much for his band. I don't care much for anything that he does." When somebody comes and feels that they have the right to tell you how to do your job, it became an issue.
I really like Brandon Orrit now.
I know. He was exactly what he needed to be in the film.
And I'm not surprised at all that Ninja was hard to work with.
Oh, yeah.
He was hard to watch.
He's hard to listen to, watch.
Yeah. Though I was reading that he and Yolandi are big fans of Neill Blomkamp's work. That's probably a South African thing,
Yeah, for sure.
But apparently he has 3 or 4 District 9 tattoos.
Yeah.
So
It's weird.
It's
I
interesting.
don't know what to do with any of it.
Yeah,
but
I wouldn't have minded them, like you said, in a bit role, but they're
Yeah.
such a major role. Let's get into it now.
yeah,
So it kind of starts off with, I think the same way District 9 started with kind of a news
some world
broadcast.
building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I always feel like this kind of thing at times is lazy if they don't bring it in, because it was just this news broadcast and then it would just cut into the plot. Sometimes they'll weave it in, like
Yeah.
I think Children of Men, which I've mentioned before, and is just a fantastic movie. The way they weave the news broadcast in is literally people
Yeah.
are watching it and it zooms out and you're in the world.
District 9 was a lot more subtle
Yeah.
with this, even though they did the same exact approach.
Yeah.
It became news, then it became documentary, and then it became our plot.
Yeah.
This here is like news,
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
So it's not as subtle. It doesn't work as well.
Yeah,
but
it's not- there's
nothing
no
in this
subtlety
film,
to it.
Yeah, nothing
Yeah.
in the film is really subtle.
Yeah, but it pretty much sets up our picture where Tetraval, which is the name of the short and the name of the company in this movie, where Dion works and where Vincent works, who's Hugh Jackman's character, and then Sigourney Weaver's the boss. She plays a character named Michelle. They all work there, and they invented these scouts. Specifically, Dion invented these scouts to be this police force. My first problem, he invents this whole robot army, still works in a cube.
Yeah.
You get him an office at that point, you know?
Yeah, for real.
Same with Hugh
Vincent.
Jackman. Vincent invented the moose.
He's like right down the cubicle
Yeah.
hallway from him.
It's like, now I'm just imagining that everyone else in that cube farm probably invented some type of pretty conscious robot, you know?
But you can tell Vincent that he like really strong-armed himself to a better cubicle because
Yeah.
he's in the one where the computer
back row.
faces the wall.
Yeah, that's the dream
Yeah.
scenario.
Best cubicle.
So they just kind of set up this office life, but you immediately see that Dion is working on greater things.
Yeah.
Even though he already invented this robot army, I'd rest on my laurels there.
He also has
You get a good contract with a commish per robot. Those things were dying left and right.
Yeah, for real. He has a model of his scout robot, as Vincent has a model of the moose robot.
On their desks, right?
Yeah.
When you're back at Dion's apartment, he has a bunch of like shitty robots there. There was one that was cleaning that was really funny looking, but he's also working on this big thing, and they did the very cheesy thing where he's like testing his code and you just see him typing, and then you see the percentage 99%, 100 failure, and then a revelation of some sort and it works. That's a very cheesy trope, kind of the revelation. I don't know if there's a good way to do that. I can't think of a movie offhand that does it well.
Just skip it, basically. Just have him testing some other aspect of it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, but
I mean, this part, it's important for the plot, but like you said,
it's
just
pretty
kinda,
inconsequential.
Yeah. It's just him testing code, then he gets it to work, he puts it on a drive, and is like, all right, I'm going back to work.
Yeah. Where he goes to like the repair lab where they're talking about they're going to have to scrap one of his scouts because it got damaged. There's a little bit of scenes with the scouts in action. That might have been during the news broadcast, actually.
Well, yeah. It's kind of like in Dread, where we open with a van on the street, and that somehow ties to the plot.
Yeah, that's
We
right.
open with a van on the street, and it's
Scouts.
it's Yolandi and Ninja.
Yeah.
And
that's
America, I think that's his name.
Yeah, there was a guy named America.
But yeah, so these four thugs actually are driving around. They go to make some exchange.
Yeah, and it goes wrong.
It goes wrong. The scout's busted up. That's where we meet Hippo, played by Brandon Orrit. And a huge gunfight breaks out. But basically, Hippo was like, y'all need to get me $20 million. Yeah. Or I'm going to kill you.
Yep.
And they're like, let's get out of here.
I think Ninja was like, well, you don't know where we live. And he was like, I know where you live.
Yeah, then he called him up. He's like, you live here.
He's like, fuck.
So they are now looking to make money.
Yeah.
Dion.
So we'll put that on pause for a second.
Dion wants to make conscious robots, so he goes back to work.
Which is the more noble cause, money or conscious robots?
The more noble cause is Hugh Jackman wants to make a police force controlled still by humans.
Yeah.
And after seeing this movie, I think he was in the right.
Yeah.
He just went about everything the wrong way.
Yeah.
Which is a good villain.
Yeah.
But
it makes him, you don't root for him, but you understand him.
Yeah.
Some villains, it's just so over the top. It's like, okay.
Yeah.
You're a villain. We get it.
But so Dion... See, Dion's not really great at what he does because he goes to his boss and says, I want to do this thing. And she's like, no.
Absolutely not.
What Dion should have done is just went and done the thing and never mentioned to his boss.
Because an easier ask for forgiveness and permission kind of thing. Yeah.
But that's on Dion.
Yeah.
So then Dion finds out, like you said, they're scrapping a robot.
But then there's less conflict, you know?
No, I agree. It builds the conflict, but it's just...
He needs to make that wrong decision for the conflict, I think, Max.
But he goes and he just decides he's going to take that scrapped robot that you mentioned.
Literally.
In his van.
Just throws it in a van.
starts driving home.
Yeah.
But Yolandi and Ninja had decided we need a remote to shut down those
Yeah,
robots.
because then we can do whatever we want.
They Googled who created the robots. They found him.
Dion Wilson.
They're like, Dion, let's kidnap this
They're
guy.
like, is
So
that
as soon
the
as he
right
leaves-
picture?
Yeah. As soon as he leaves, they kidnap Dion Wilson.
Immediately. On premise
Yeah.
of Petroval.
Should have more scout robots out.
That's what I'm saying.
So yeah, they
Should
take
be
him back to
prowling the grounds.
their weird, shitty little apartment
Yeah, they lived in
house.
the ruins.
Yeah. And they're like, give us the remote. Give us the remote. And he's like,
They're
there's
like,
no
shut
remote.
it down.
Yeah. He's like, shut it off, shut it down. He's like, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And then he's like, don't kill me. And then America,
Yeah.
he goes and looks in the van. He's like, yo, they got a robot.
Yeah, they got one right here.
And,
And then
they're
Ninja
like,
wants to use it
yeah, Ninja's like, give us the robot.
because they want him to help him rob
He's like,
people for
well,
a
I
heist.
was gonna upload my files, bro.
Yeah.
Do it.
He does. Makes
does.
a conscious robot.
So Chappie is born. They'd have a whole.
He's not Chappie yet, though. He's just a robot.
He's
They
just
didn't come up with
robot.
a name. And he's kind of like hiding, cowering.
Yeah.
You see that in the trailer. For literally no reason at all, Yolandi names him Chappie.
I found that's a name of a chewing gum in South Africa.
Yeah, I saw that too, but
Chappie, and it's Chappie Chipmunk. But I don't even know
Yeah.
if the movie said that.
in the movie, she just saw him. She's like, "Hi there, your name's Chappie." And Jen was like, "Why is his name Chappie?" She's like, "I just thought of it. That's so stupid. Make it based on Chappie Chipmunk.
Yeah,
Why not?"
exactly.
It was just stupid. And then Deanna was like, "Okay, you'd think he'd have a name ready. He'd be like, I have a working consciousness program to plug into a robot."
Bradley.
Yeah. Honestly, Chappie looks more like a Bradley.
Yeah, he acted like a
He
Bradley.
had the frame of a Bradley.
That's the truth.
That slender Bradley frame.
Hashtag Bradley
Yeah.
frame.
The next 20 minutes of the movie are Chappie learning how to exist, essentially. Yolandi becomes his mother. Ninja becomes his father, and Dion remains his maker. Which
And I become disengaged from the film.
yeah, I am become text.
Yeah.
So first, Chappie watches He-Man, then he starts painting. There was a weird thing where Ninja was kind of an abusive father. It was like, no son of mine's gonna be a painter. And then he gives him like a gun. Oh gosh.
So yeah, Ninja's terrible.
This whole like montage.
He makes him steal cars. He teaches him how to stab people to put them to sleep.
He also at one point just abandons him in a purposefully rough part of town.
Yeah.
I don't even remember why.
To man him up.
Was that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
It's-
him in America and Chappie all drove out to this place.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah.
So Chappie had this problem where he had a battery, and after 5 or 6 days, he was going to die. He finds that out, gets really ticked off at Dion. Dion was really weird in this movie.
He was
Because he was
sucked too.
there was like 50 minutes of the movie where he wasn't in it.
Yeah.
And then he just went back. It was super strange. But so Chappie gets mad at the maker because he's like, "Why would you make me if I'm going to die?" And he's like, "I'm your mate. Like you're a beta," is what he should have said. But so Ninja says to him, "If you help us with this heist, you'll get your battery back."
We'll buy your body or something.
No, he's like, "You'll just get your battery," which is a lie because then Chappie gets mad at Ninja later.
Yeah.
One thing about this movie, every time they said the word heist, I wanted to watch the movie Heat instead.
That makes 2 films so far.
Yeah.
So here's the catch with Chappie.
Here's the catch.
He tried to make a film that shows you the horrors of being a child, where you find out your world is...
I'm sorry. You said, here's the catch with Chappie. He tries to make a film. I thought you meant the robot.
I wish.
I was like, I missed that part.
Blomkamp is trying to make a film
Sorry.
that shows the world, how terrible it is through the lens of a child.
Yeah.
And how all the lies you're told, how much harm they can do. It's a mixture of coming of age with like childhood trauma.
Yeah.
He tries to do it. I think if you like this movie, it might have worked for you.
Yeah, maybe
If
you
not-
don't it.
I mean, when we reach the 30s, there's a good amount of people who actually enjoy the films we're watching, which we're in that range now.
Yeah.
So there are some fans of this film. And I don't know. We talked to a couple of our friends who liked it, and they seem to be pretty okay with Die Antwoord.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the line. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we were so out on them that we couldn't give the rest of the film a shot. There's moments that... it's not even like I like moments. I like ideas of the film.
Yeah, I like ideas of the film.
The moments don't even work for me, but I like ideas.
Well, I like the ideas, a lot of the ideas of the film, but Die Antwoord just totally brings me out of it.
Yes.
Honestly, because it's distracting. Them playing themselves in the movie. At one point, after Yolandi had said, "I don't know, I just came up with Chappie out of nowhere," the next day she's wearing a shirt that says Chappie on the front of it.
I got a little exercise for you.
Oh.
Recast them as actual actors.
And they're still kind of trashy.
They're still playing trashy people. They don't have to be Die Antwoord. They could be Ninja and Yolandi, but they don't have to do the rest of it. But they got to play these roles as they are.
Give me Numi Rapace.
Okay.
And you know what? This will be controversial, but give me Riff Raff. It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, no, that's true.
But it's weirder and more subtle.
You could do James Franco as a return to Alain.
Yeah, but he might get sued again.
That's true.
By Riff Raff.
Could be interesting, though.
Could be, yeah. But pretty much anybody who's an actual actor, I think, would have done better. How about let's put Sharlto Copley in that role? Have a different person do his voice. No, have a different person do Chappie's voice.
That could work.
You could have, who would do Chappie's voice then? Who's got a good robot voice?
Benicio del Toro?
Sure. Yeah.
That'd be really strange.
I want that, though. In South African Avengers, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so now let's get to the crux of our conflict here. Chappie is getting criminalized by Ninja and Yolandi. Ninja, for the most part.
Yeah, it's all Ninja.
Yeah. He's getting on the news because they're just robbing vans full of money.
Throwing ninja stars at everybody.
Yeah, they actually are throwing ninja stars at people.
He refuses to shoot people. So they're like, just stab him and throw these things at
he's
him.
like,
they take naps.
He's like, I have no moral problem with that.
Like, cool.
So Vincent sees this on the news. He knows that Dion had a problem with it, or had a part of it.
Yeah.
And so he goes to Sigourney Weaver to Michelle and is like, hey, look at these conscious robots. You told him not to make that robot, and he made it. And then she's like, fire up the moose.
Yeah.
So the moose is on the prowl.
You missed one moment.
Oh, was it important?
Yeah. Right before, she's not ready to fire up the noose. She's like, this is bad, but we still have it under control. Let's find out what's going on. Yeah. So he's like, fuck it. So then he goes and puts a virus into all these scouts.
Oh, yeah.
And their heads like smoke and they go out of commission.
Yeah.
Chappie goes out of commission, including like he's out too.
Yep.
And then he fires up the moose because criminals are going crazy like instantly.
Yeah.
As soon as they go haywire.
Impetus to get. Yeah.
So like he pieced it together right there. And
when they got Chappie's second arm, didn't they also take one of the consciousness readers too? Is that how they brought Chappie back? I can't remember now.
I don't honestly remember how they brought him back, man. But I know that he did get that when they got the arm. That's when he cut it off for like painting or something.
Because this reader thing this is part of Vincent's big plan is you have the moose, but then you have humans controlling them, and it's this neural reader that will read your thoughts to get the robot to move, and it keeps the human in control instead of just giving it over to these robot armies, essentially. They take that somehow, a wireless version of it, because at the same time, Vincent's using his.
Yeah.
And they put it on Chappie that's a conscious robot, and it reads his metal skeleton head and still gets thoughts out of it. Like, I don't see how when you make your neural transmitter, you're like, we need these to read brains, and just in case, we need it to read robots.
Yeah.
We need it to read robots if they have the consciousness program.
He shouldn't have been wearing it. He should have had it plugged into himself.
Yeah. That would have been worse. Yeah. A USB port fixes that plot point for me.
But basically, he learns how to back up his consciousness.
Yeah.
I don't know if that actually went directly into them resetting Chappie after the explosion. I assume it did.
Maybe it did. I legitimately can't remember.
Into the plot later.
Yeah. Our big set piece, the biggest of the movie, is when the moose gets to Die Antwoord's ruins.
Abandoned ruin.
Yeah. So it's a lot of stuff happens at once. You have Ninja Yolandi. Dion's back because he wants to get, after seeing on the news, he wants to get Chappie back. And Chappie, you kind of have them on one faction. You have Hippo and them show up to get the money. Yeah. Hippo and the boys. And then you have, out of nowhere, the moose show up. So you have this kind of three-layered conflict. First, it's Hippo versus Ninja's crew. And then the moose lands and starts just wrecking everyone.
Most of the effects in this movie were really good. There was 2 effect moments here that were fucking terrible.
Yeah, the moose
landing looked like shit. It looked like 1998 PS2 Mech Warrior bullshit. And I don't know why it was that bad.
The only thing I can think of is it was added late.
It moving, it might have just been like a late shot. When it's moving around afterwards, it looks great. Up until it takes out a pair of scissors and cuts America in half and then tosses his body.
Yeah, that was
blood
horrible.
spurt, all of it. It just looked bad. It looked like pink blood, first of all.
Yeah.
It just was not.
Yeah, it definitely
effects.
looked different because the effects of Chappie himself and the other scouts were fine.
Yeah. All the people getting shot looked how it does in every movie.
Yeah.
And then just that weird scissor scene and the weird landing scene.
Yeah, I remember they were trying to do it a lot because they're doing like the heat effects, the shimmer of the heat and smoke and all this stuff. But that's not really an excuse because other movies do bigger things better.
And Blomkamp, he's
grounded
kind of known
effects,
for these,
kinda.
really good grounded effects.
Yeah.
So.
And this is probably the biggest. Well, I haven't seen Elysium, so I can't say that. But this is this is a bigger set piece than any that was in District 9, even, right?
Yeah,
or it's as big at least. Anyways, there's this huge fight here, and it's chaotic. It's hard to follow. Because you have Chappie saving Ninja and saving Yolandi and saving Dion, and him and Dion become friends again. But then Chappie gets shot, and then they have this other special gun that's supposed to be able to kill the moose, and they hit it a couple times, but then it's fine, and then they hit it again, and it dies.
Yeah.
It's all very complicated.
And then as the moose is dying, he sees one last body and shoots it.
Yeah.
And it's Yolandi, so she gets shot.
And she had, I think, made the shot that had killed the moose, or taken it almost out of commission. And the whole time you have them splitting back to Vincent in the neural controller, kind of like grunting and looking at a lever after he gets hit and moving it.
So Chappie's like, this ain't right. And Ninja had just said, go, I'll create a distraction.
Yeah.
And he did for a minute, but then...
I was ticked off that his distraction worked.
Yeah.
I was like honestly upset.
I was ticked off that he didn't die.
Yeah, that too. But his distraction was to walk up to the moose and be like, yo, I'm here, like, let's fight.
Yeah.
And instead of just instantly killing him, which is what Vincent probably would have done, he toyed with him with his stupid scissors and everything, and it helped them escape. So that really made me mad.
It was stupid.
I think one thing that would have made this fight better is if Vincent's voice were pushed in through the moose.
Yeah.
Because then you'd have interaction there.
That's true.
Because they sort of set up this antagonistic relationship between Dion and Vincent, and they never really pay it off fully, I don't think.
No, that's true.
Yeah. When they leave that fight, though, Chappie and Dion head back to the, I'm blanking on the name of that company we've said.
Tetraval.
Tetraval headquarters. I forget what their initial reason was.
Well, Chappie wants revenge on Vincent for killing Mommy.
Yeah. The mommy thing was weird, too.
Yeah.
So they go back to this lab. They see Vincent's trying to upload this even newer software to kill all the scouts or something, right? What was it called? I forget. It was something that was super malicious, I remember. It was like Malignant or Genesis or something strange.
Wasn't
remember?
that earlier?
That was earlier, but it was here, too, because remember it was executing?
Okay. Yeah.
And then when Dion got on the computer, he saw it hadn't finished yet, and he, like, canceled it.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly what the point of it was.
Because Dion was bleeding out by this point.
They were here.
That was the earlier sequence.
And then Dion got shot, right?
That was the earlier sequence.
Okay, I'm mixing the two scenes in the same place.
The same exact room, so I see about that.
Yeah.
This is where Chappie runs in. He beats the shit out of Vincent.
Yeah.
Vincent's like taking off running, and he finally gets him and like kills him by like slamming him up and down a ton of times.
Yeah.
And then he runs back. They like kind of like bar the door for a second, and he starts transferring consciousness.
Yeah.
And there's only one body.
Yeah.
One
I remember why.
body.
They were going to get Chappie a robot body that had battery.
Yeah.
That's right.
So after they took care of Vincent, who killed Mommy, it was to get a body.
Yeah.
And then
here is when Dion gets shot, right?
Dion already been shot.
Okay.
He had been shot back at home. So it was a really weird moment because
Yeah.
he beats up Vincent, then he gets a body.
Yeah.
For Dion. And Dion's like, hey man, just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Chappie's
get out of here, Chappie.
No way, Jose. And then
that's the quote.
I wish. Then he just uploads Dion's consciousness into a robot body, just like Chappie's.
There was no reason to think this could happen in the movie up to this point, but
yeah. And then Dion's like, "Well, let me see what you did. I'm gonna take her you boo." So Dion puts
another direct quote.
Yeah. Dion puts Chappie's consciousness into another Chappie body.
Yeah.
Then they go back and they escape somehow magically.
Yeah.
And Ninja's having a Viking funeral for Yolandi in the middle of their trash house.
Yep.
Just burning stuff, throwing pictures of her into the fire. And then Chappie's
if it wasn't Die
like,
Antwoord, I'd have a lot more problems with that. But at that point, I was just like, yeah, whatever you're going to do, do it.
Chappie's like, let me grab this box. And then he pulls out a thumb drive that says Mommy Consciousness.
And then they flash back to a scene that wasn't in the movie of him saying, here, Mommy, try this consciousness sucker. And she does, so that's how we got it. The very last frames of the movie are them sneaking back into Tetraval and building...
Or just hacking.
Yeah,
something.
whatever they do. Yeah, they just hacked it. And building a pink, feminine mommy robot.
Yeah, and it's cutting back to news stories saying, like, the Chappie robot has not been found.
Yeah.
He's been glimpsed.
Yeah, and they're saying, like, they called off the whole scout program.
Yeah.
Back to human police forces. So Vincent kind of won.
He won. He was kind of right because these robots were easy to take over.
Yeah.
They did the wrong thing once they got consciousness. Yeah. Easily manipulated.
Exactly what his problem was.
It takes one virus to blow their heads up.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You know what? It's also Michelle's fault, the leader of Tetraval.
For not having better security.
She should have been like, let's take the scout robots. Let's take Vincent's brain machine and let's combine them somehow. So that police can do the scout bodies and just control them.
Yeah, but then at that point you still have the people involved. I guess the whole point was to get people out of it. You know, like
I know, but...
mechanizing these jobs like they're doing at McDonald's now.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
He's like, I am Chappie. Here's your
Big Mac.
Big Mac. I didn't know McDonald's food. I forgot.
Big Mac is one of them.
That works.
No, what they should have had is actual security at this building because Vincent and Dion could go wherever they wanted.
Yeah.
They were going down from the lab to the scrap place. You gotta have some separation of duties, is what that's called in most software security systems.
Yeah.
Got some separation of duties there. If you're the guy who invented all the robots, maybe you don't go in to overwrite everything. You know.
Yeah.
Another problem I have with the ending, if I can.
Go ahead, please.
Chappie and now Dion are on the Scout network, right? Mm-hmm. Like their software, they're all connected to that. So when they shut down the Scout program, wouldn't they just be turned off?
No, because they had no security against Dion.
That's true, yeah.
They just fucking ran it how he wanted, man.
I would think that once they shut down the program of all the Scouts, because there were scenes where they showed every Scout frame and if it was online or not, because at one point... Vincent was looking at this list of like the 100 scouts and one of them was online. He's like, that's the one that we scrapped. That's the one they put consciousness in. Michelle, we have to kill Dion and stuff like that. So they had the capability to see all that. So they should have been like, we shut everything off. There's 2 online. Shut those 2. Yeah. Boom. There ends the South African Avengers.
It's like this, where it's like they had no security systems. They didn't know what they were doing. Yeah. It's just bullshit.
Yeah. That's what this movie really is when it comes down to it. It's just bullshit.
Yeah.
Ideas are good. I love the idea of a robot gaining consciousness in a human world, all that. You can do interesting things there. One of the things that's not interesting that you do is bring Die Antwoord in as most of the plot. There's nothing interesting about that. Yeah. I don't even mind them kidnapping Dion, being there when they invented him, affecting his upbringing or whatever, but then you kill him off instantly.
They're an interesting hook.
Dion should have been in the movie most of the movie.
Yeah.
Because instead of just being the interesting hook, they made Die Antwoord or Die Antwoord into most of the plot, and they pulled Dion out of a lot of it.
Yeah.
He was in it at the beginning and the end. He wasn't really in the middle.
Patel's a good actor.
He's a really good actor.
Why would you replace him with Ninja, with Waddy? I don't know.
Yeah, and
sorry, Die Antwoord fans, we're just not there with you. I respect your thoughts. You do what you do. Yeah, it's not my thing.
The character of Dion was not very well written either. Because he invented this consciousness, and he seems like a really good guy. And then as soon as he invents Chappie, he's like, I'm your maker. And then there's like nothing developed past that.
So here's the thing. This film, I know the original script, I don't know if they did rewrites, but the original script was written in 2 weeks while him and his wife worked on Elysium, like actual filming it. You had mentioned this to me before, and actually I don't know if you did. Paul mentioned to me, you might have also said it, that Ninja is who he originally wanted for Elysium.
Yeah,
to play Matt Damon's character.
Look at the two of them side by side right now, everybody.
Ninja said he only wanted to play himself in a movie.
He's like, I got you, fam.
Yeah. He's like, all right, boom.
Man.
That's
the worst reason to write a movie.
Yeah. If Ninja showed up and asked me to write a movie for him, I'd say, fuck you.
Where he plays himself?
Get out of my house. Yeah. So...
Oh man, yeah, that was not a good movie, man. I understand people who like it and can get past my problems with Die Antwoord because again, the ideas are fine.
Yeah.
Honestly, the skeleton at its absolute barest bones is fine, but once they start layering in all those pieces that were unlikable.
Here's the thing, man. If you want a good version of this film, basically just watch District 9.
District 9's a great movie. It's
superior in every single way.
Yeah, and it's the same idea except it's alien instead of robot.
You know what's my favorite thing about District 9?
What's that?
The lead alien character in it is named Christopher Johnson or something like that. They just assigned them human names.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just his name. So Vicus the whole time is like, Christopher Johnson, I need your help.
Yeah.
And like, it's just fucking awesome.
That story was developed so much better, too. It's kind of a slow burn at the start.
Yeah.
How he's starting to fall apart and everything. Chappie started to do that, and then it was like, we're going to bring Ninja in now.
District 9 has some of the best body horror I've seen in like a science fiction film. There's parts where I was like gagging the first time I watched it. Oh my god.
Ooh.
When he vomits at his surprise party.
Yeah. Which I would do too, but it's just because I'd be
Hippo
scared.
played like the head of security for the company in that.
The guy who played Hippo has been in, I think, all of Neill Blomkamp's work.
It's so good. Yeah. And I was willing to give this movie a chance. I never saw it when
That's why we watched it, because we were interested and we knew people who liked it. But
you could see his short films. He has talent. You could watch his good movies. He has talent.
Tempbot is a lot better than this.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Tempbot is very funny.
We laughed multiple times. Yeah. We identified with Tempbot on multiple levels.
In a 15-minute short movie about our robot, we identified. Man, yeah. What do you think now about Neill Blomkamp doing the Alien movie, whatever it's going to be? I
have no idea what's going on with the Alien series, because you have Neill doing that,
and you have another
Ridley
one.
Scott's doing one too.
Is he producing or directing that other one that's going?
I
forget.
Officially,
they have a name for it now, right? Alien Frontiers or something.
Alien Covenant, but I think that's the Neill one, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't really know.
Yeah, it's like there's two simultaneously being developed,
and I don't get why, but why not?
I mean, nowadays cinematic universes are in, right?
Yeah.
Cloverfield has one.
Yeah.
Monsters have one.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So maybe that's, I don't know.
South African Avengers.
Come to a theater near you.
You got Dev Patel as Dion Wilson. You have Chappie, played by Vicus. Oh, that's not his name.
Chappie, played by Vicus.
Sharlto Copley, is that it?
Sharlto Copley.
Sharlto Copley. You have Matt Damon as Elysium. I know that's not his name.
You haven't seen Elysium either, have you?
No, his name's actually Max in the film.
Okay. Max Damon, right?
And then you have I already
Sharlto Copley playing Vicus, yeah.
Again.
Yeah. And then you have Matt Damon playing his character from Invictus.
Yeah. Morgan Freeman as Nelson Mandela.
Who's your villain?
Ninja.
Hell yeah. Max, where can the good people find us?
You can find me chewing Chappie chipmunk gum in South Africa, not with Yolandi, probably with Sigourney Weaver or Linda Carter.
Hell yeah.
Who I don't know if I mentioned she's in Tempbot.
You did.
But you can also find us at thecriticalbreakdown.com.
Yep.
You can find me hanging out with aliens in South Africa at Max Rivera Film.
You can find me understanding references at breakdown_Scott. We'll answer all your emails. If you like Die Antwoord, write us, I guess.
Yeah.
If you
We'll just delete that email.
No, we'll read
listen
it.
to it. We'll see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Don't send us their videos because we've seen them and we're cool.
I watched a couple.
We're cool, man.
Not my
cool.
style.
Yeah.
But that email is thecriticalbreakdownpodcast@gmail.com.
If your name is Waddy and you're really pissed that we made this episode, give us a review on iTunes or something.
4 or 5 stars though.
Only 4 or 5s. That's all we accept.
Yeah. Give us a Google Play review if you're listening over there.
Yeah.
Stitcher Radio. I know there's dozens of you out there listening on Stitcher.
Dozens.
All them other podcatchers that you use, we're on there too. No excuses, guys.
We're Legion.
Yeah. Watch Chappie if you want. I probably won't ever again.
That's a Max statement right there.
I probably won't ever watch it again.
Yeah.
Oh, this is way too late for this because we already did our outro. But little after the credits scene, there was an alternate ending for this movie.
Yeah.
I believe that in the alternate ending, at the end, they shut down all the Chappie bots.
Even the two boys?
Yeah, I think so. I think this was instead of them getting consciousness. It's on the IMDb trivia, and I forgot it as soon as I started talking about it.
With it. Jason Brown does our music.
Josh Rivera does our art.
We are Consciousness. We're alive.
We're Chappie.
Next week on The Critical Breakdown.
Season's greetings from Max and Scott. We're taking a break from the list to watch one of our favorite Christmas movies, Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.